Howdy folks, and welcome to How to WoW, Add-ons and more. Today we're going to be taking a look at basic interface. Alright, now I talked last time about all these action bars that I have here. Let's show you how to get them. Alright, you're going to hit this question mark. You can also hit the escape key to bring that up. You're going to hit interface right here, go to action bars, and that's all it is. Your bottom left, bottom right, right bar, 1 and 2. You can lock the action bars, which means that you need to use the shift key to move items in and out of them. You can always show the action bar or not, and show numbers for cooldowns. Now what that means is whenever a spell is on cooldown, it will have a number for how much time is remaining on that cooldown. So if you have a spell with 45-second cooldown, as soon as you hit it, it's going to pop up with that 45 and it's going to do a countdown until you can use it again. Alright, so there's the bottom left bar, there's the bottom right, right bar, and right bar 2. Okay, now I want to show numbers for cooldown because I like having those. And that's all there is to it. That's it. I've got the action bars up. Real simple. So let's go ahead and look at some of the other basic stuff in the interface for controls. Auto dismount in flight. Now what that means is whenever you decide to cast a spell, say I'm flying in on an enemy and I want to throw my Avenger's shield at them, I don't have to dismount first because you can't use any of your spells while you're mounted. So having this checked means that if you are coming in on a target and you want to take the fall damage, however, if it's even fall damage at all, you might be low enough that it's not a problem. You can hit your spell that you want to cast and it'll start casting instantly and it'll kick you off your mount and you don't have to worry about it. Alright, auto cancel away mode. Basically that means if you type something in chat or you move your character, it'll take you out of AFK. Now, this is something that you want. The reason why is because once you're AFK, I believe for 15 minutes, I think it's 5 minutes that you're actually away, and then 15 minutes after that, it'll log you out. Alright? But if you're waiting on something, or like a dungeon finder, and you're just sitting there, you will go AFK if you're DPS. You're going to be waiting a long time. So you want to be able to get yourself out of AFK, but you don't really want to talk to people. You just tap W and you're out of AFK mode. That way you don't get logged out while you're waiting on Dungeon Finder. Auto loot is another very nice feature. Alright, by default this is off. You want to have this ticked on because whenever you go and right click on an enemy that you've killed, it pops up with a loot window and then you have to click every single item to collect it out of the inventory. If you have auto loot selected, whenever you right click on that dead enemy, it automatically picks up everything. And not just from that enemy, but from the enemies surrounding it as well. So you can get a whole bunch of stuff all at once, instead of opening every single bag and taking the items one at a time. It's a little irritating to do. And as far as bag space, don't worry about it. Not at the lower levels when you're starting out, because there's vendors everywhere. You just sell off the junk and you'll be fine. Alright. Let's see here. Up here in combat, it's always a good idea to show the target of your target. What that means is whenever you select a enemy, you see this frame up here, and actually we can show an example of that. Let me do this. We're going to come down here where we actually have a hostile mob or two. These guys aren't really going to do anything to me. I'm not worried about it. I think I heal faster than they can damage me. There we go. Alright, there's my target. It's lit up. You can see that I have it targeted. Okay? When it targets me, now it shows that it is targeting me. That means I can click on myself. Alright? But if you have target of target activated, especially if you're a DPS or a healer, or even the tank, really. Works for a tank as well. If you're in a dungeon and the boss suddenly targets somebody that's not you, you can see that the boss is targeting somebody else, okay? And you can taunt off of them. If you're the healer, you can, and you can't quite find the tank, you can click on him through the target of target feature, and then heal the tank that way. DPS, you can also use the target of target. You can select the tank, and the tank will be targeting the boss, and you can select the boss that way. Will you stop it? You're embarrassing yourself. Okay, so target of target is a really nice feature that I highly recommend you use. It has further applications, but I mean that's the most basic way of looking at it. Do not flash screen at low health. You want this. You want that feature. You do not want to turn that off. The reason why is because whenever you're in a dungeon or a raid, there are times where you're going to be taking a lot of damage really quick, and the edges of your screen are going to turn red and flash. Okay, it's not like a fast flash or anything like that, but it'll get your attention and it'll let you know that you're about to die. And so you need to pay attention to where you're standing. Make sure you're not standing in anything that's killing you. Okay? Loss of control alerts, also a good thing to have. Lets you know if you've been stunned or mind controlled or something like that. Alright? That way you're not sitting there trying to cast spells and wondering why it's not working. Alright? Scrolling combat text for self, that's a personal preference thing. Basically, you saw whenever I hit that guy, it showed my health instead of his damage because, well, really, it killed him too fast. But it showed in green that I had gained health from that. And it just rose up the screen, okay? Now, whenever you're fighting something significantly harder than that, you'll have the damage that you're doing, the damage you're receiving, and the healing that you're receiving all showing up in that scrolling combat text in order. Personally, I like to see that. Some people don't. It's personal preference, okay? For display, okay, it's how you are selected in raid, be it a circle under your player or it outlines your player, whatever. And again, this is more personal preference thing. Default is circle, okay? Circle and outline makes you a little bit easier to find, which I kind of like to have because I'm usually playing in a raid or a dungeon zoomed all the way out. Look how small my character is there, okay? That's a little hard to see when you're in a dungeon or a raid. And generally, the center of the screen is where you are, okay? It's always moving, all right? So you can pretty much tell where you are if you've got the whole orientation thing down. But when you're in the middle of a big fight and there's a whole bunch of AoEs on the ground, whole bunch of fire and everything, it's a little bit difficult to tell if you're standing in the right spot. Because sometimes that's all you need to do is move over just a little bit. And then just a little bit more. And then just a little bit more. So having yourself circled and outlined anything you can to increase your own visibility so you can make sure that you're not standing in bad. It'd be helpful. It helps the healer. The healer will appreciate you not standing in fire. Okay? Quest objectives, mouse over, and target. Basically what that is, whenever you pick up a quest to kill what is this guy? Blood Talon Scythemaw, okay? If you pick up a quest to kill 8 of those, these guys right here will actually be outlined, and they will have a small exclamation point above their heads. So you can easily tell that that's something you need to kill. Instead of running up to random things and be like, do I need to kill this? I don't know. Which is how it used to be. So this is a fairly new feature that is helpful. It really is. It's a good thing. Alright, status text. That's this up here. Alright, you see I've got my 7,980,000 health. Alright, you can have it as numeric value like mine is, percentage, which just shows how much of it you have, both, which will show your total health and what percentage of it is that you have, or nothing. Alright, I prefer numeric value because this is a percentage doesn't mean a whole lot to me whenever I'm in the middle of a battle. That's all that is. Alright, player chat bubbles. You can have all, none, exclude party chat. Basically, it's whenever somebody says something, they'll have a chat bubble over their head, which we can demonstrate. Just, yeah, that. See? Little chat bubble right over my character's head. Alright, it's a preference thing. Do you want to see chat bubbles every time somebody says something in an open channel? Or not? It's up to you. It's entirely up to you however you want to do it. I like it, so I keep it. Alright? Now, rotating the minimap. I do not like that. I like for north to be north. Okay? Rotating the minimap, look at that. Now my north is over here. And now, look at that. That's confusing. I don't like that. So, I keep my minimap fixed. That way I know which way I'm going. Alright. Hide adventure guide alerts. Now, for lower levels, you want that off. Alright. Because it'll tell you what to do next. This is your adventure guide down here. But if you're at a loss, you don't know where to go, don't know what to do, the adventure guide will pop up and tell you several different things that you can do at your level. Alright. For you higher level players, turn it off. Because it's just going to annoy you. Alright. Tutorials, definitely keep that on. Alright. Keep that on if you're a new player. It'll teach you the basics of how to control, how to use certain spells and all that. Tutorial is very helpful. It's not the greatest in the world, but it does its job. Alright? You can also reset the tutorials, and what that is, the difference is, having tutorials on means anytime you come across something new, it'll pop up and tell you about it. Alright? And then resetting the tutorials means that even if that character has already done that thing, or already seen it, whenever you see it again, it'll tell you about it again, okay? Also, this character is 110, has done pretty much everything. If I create a new character now, it won't get any tutorials, even with this checked, okay? A new character won't get anything, because this character's already seen it all. But resetting the tutorials means that my new character will see it again, okay? That's what that's good for, alright? Social. Okay, this is more for parents. The mature language filter, alright? You set that and it will turn off the profanity, alright? What that means is if somebody says something in trade chat that is really not child friendly, it'll usually be censored, okay? However, this is an online game and most internet users have figured out how to break the filter. they can still say what they want to say and not trigger the filter. So to me, it's more of an annoyance than it is helpful. Because there's some stuff that's said that I don't even want to see that. But it's less, it does not catch my attention as much as their version of censoring, which is a series of symbols. So I leave it off because it's easier to ignore it. Plus, with turning off the trade chat and looking for group chat, I don't have to worry about it. Spam filter, also a good thing to have. We all know what spam is. Have that on. It helps. All right. Guild member alert, that's up to you. Okay. That shows you right there what it does. All right. Blocking trades. Personally, I would leave that off. And I'll tell you why I leave that off. Whenever I was starting out, this character was an enchanter and a jewel crafter. Okay. I didn't have any mining characters, and all of my materials were coming from me disenchanting my own gear and buying ores off the auction house. Okay. I had this random player right before Cataclysm came up to me, and he just initiated a trade. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? And then he dumped a ton of enchanting materials on me. I never talked to this player before. I'd never seen him before. I had no idea who he was. He didn't know me, but he knew that I had enchanting. And he had extra materials. So instead of trying to sell them on the auction house, he dumped them on me, and I got a whole bunch of materials that I could use to level up my enchanting. So that's a good thing to have open, because every once in a while you might get some charity in. It happens. Other times there are accidental trade requests, because when you right click on a player, trade and inspect are right next to each other. So people accidentally hit trade. It's not intentional most of the time, and you can cancel out of it. Okay, it's not a big deal. Block all incoming guild invites. Okay, if you do not want to be in a guild, have this checked. All right, I can have it checked now. It doesn't make a difference because I'm already in a guild. All right, but if you are not in a guild and you don't want to be in a guild, check this. Because there are add-ons that will automatically invite players who are not in a guild. And it's aggravating. It is incredibly annoying, okay? Chat channel invites, I've never seen that happen. I've never gotten a chat channel invite. I've never heard of it. So I just leave it alone, okay? Display only character achievements to others. That's entirely up to you, okay? I leave mine unchecked because I'm in a guild, and whenever I accomplish something that's kind of big, it announces it in the guild chat that I've done that. So people know that I've done that, you know? And I can get a congratulations or something like that. And it's more of a pat yourself on the back type of thing. If you don't want the attention, you don't want people to acknowledge that you just got an achievement, you can go ahead and check this, and they will never know that you've gotten an achievement unless they inspect you, okay? Really, it's pointless, because unless it's somebody you know or are in a guild with, typically people don't pay attention. You can get achievement after achievement, nobody's going to say anything, okay? Online friends, alright? If you've got a friend that brought you into the game, well, you know what? Keep this up. Keep both of these checked, because you're going to get friends if you don't have them already. And that's what this is. This is showing me that I've got 3 friends that are logged into Battle.net, okay? They're not necessarily in-game, but I can still talk to them through the Battle.net launcher, okay? So keep those checked. It's good to know when your friends are online. Be friendly, okay? Broadcast updates, I, you know what? I don't even look at them. And that's a preference thing. However you want it. If you want to see every time one of your friends changes their status update, sure. But I don't ever adjust mine, and I don't really look at others. So, if you got something special in your status, I'm sorry, but I don't pay attention to that. If you got something to tell me, tell me. Okay? The auto accept quick join request. Now, whenever you're queuing for a dungeon or a looking for a raid or something like that, or whenever you get up into Legion and you have the world quests and you're jumping into that like an invasion or something, right here above your chat, you'll see it pop up that a person has entered the queue for and whatever it is they're about to do. Okay? The quick join is if you click on that. All right? Say, hey, I want to do that too. I can help you with that. You click on it, and if they have their auto accept turned on, that means you can hop right in with them. So it's more of a friendly thing, and that's for guild. So if you're in a guild and you want people to be able to join you whenever you're doing something, sure, do that. That way, if they want to, they can. This is more your real ID, battle tag, friend request. It displays a message down here in the chat log whenever somebody logs in or out. That's a friend. Okay. What is this? Toast window? Yeah, who cares? That's whenever there's a message. Okay. Chat styles. This is again, you've got the IM style or you've got the classic style. Personally, I prefer classic. Timestamps, by default, there are none. Okay? But I like to have the timestamp on there so that if somebody said something in guild chat, I can see when they said it. If I've been AFK and it's been a quiet day, because they could have asked for help like an hour ago and nobody said anything, and you see it finally, and oh yeah, you needed help. It's like, yeah, I did an hour ago. I don't now. New whispers. Okay. This is also a preference. New tab means whenever you get a whisper, it'll open a new tab. Okay. In line means it fits right in here with the rest of the chat. All right. Both means it does both. All right. Preference. That's all that is. Okay. Action bars we've already covered. Names. Okay. Here, usually I don't show my own name. All right. I don't like having my name over my head. I know who I am, but you don't. So I keep my name on. All right. Critters and companions, I don't show names for them because I don't care who your pets are. All right. And chances are they don't have special names anyway. If they do, you'll tell me about it. But just a random player going through the world, I don't care to know what he's named the squirrel that's following him. Okay? It's not relevant information. All it does is eat up bits. I don't need it. So it's off. Friendly players and minions. The only reason I keep the minions on is because, like, friendly players, you have a warlock or a hunter with a pet. Alright? You need to know the difference between a void walker that is a pet and a void walker that is an enemy. So I have that on so that it'll show that the pet or summoned creature is actually with that player and I'm not trying to attack it. Enemy players, it's the same thing. Okay, You can tell if that Void Walker you're about to attack actually belongs to a player or if it's just a Void Walker in the world. Alright. And with the Hunter pets as well. Alright. Now, unit nameplates. Alright. Here, personal resource display. That's what that is. That I don't like that. I don't need that. That's annoying. I don't like the way it looks. Now, I do have an add-on that does the same thing, but it's prettier. And we will get to the add-on later. Alright? But I do not like this. So that stays off. I don't like the way that one looks. Okay? Now, always show nameplates. Enemy units, friendly players and their minions, larger nameplates, and flash on aggro loss. Okay, and then stacking nameplates. You want them stacking, alright? You don't want them overlapping, especially in enemy territory. That way you can switch targets easily. I'm going to show you what nameplates are, alright? So let's return to the game. And we're going to fly back into the city, and we're going to go over to the auction house where the most players are, and I can show you what the nameplates are. Alright. Now, I was always confused about nameplates at first. See, right here, we have NPCs that are green, players, friendly players that are blue, okay? So if we hit Control V, that's nameplates, alright? And the nameplate color matches the class. Red is a Death Knight, okay? What is this one? This one is a Hunter. Let's see here. This is a Priest, I think. If I can... There we go. Yep, a Priest. This one's a Monk. That's a Shaman. And I believe Mage is another shade of blue. That's a Paladin with the pink. See, it has its purpose. You can quickly identify what class a player is based on the color of the nameplate. Yep, there's a Mage. That lighter blue, the cyan looking color. If we come in here, you have the lighter purple is a Warlock. The darker purple is a Demon Hunter. Okay? That's what it is. So, I mean, nameplates can be useful. They can be useful. But, I mean, this is so that I can select a specific person. Alright, we'll come back in here. You can see all these players. I want to talk to that person. Okay? Instead of trying to click their character, I can click the nameplate. And there they are. And then I can go down, inspect, and I can see what he's got. Okay? Oh, he's got a legendary. But yeah, I mean, that nameplates, very helpful tool, okay? Definitely have them active if that's something that you want. If you want an easier way to select things. Now, if you don't want friendly nameplates, you can Shift V. Alright? Control V turns on or off all nameplates. Shift V turns on or off friendly nameplates. And just V by itself turns on and off hostile nameplates. So, this guy that's over here, this Scorpion and Raptor that are over here, should have nameplates on because I only turned off friendlies. Yep, there he is. He's got his nameplate. And where'd that Raptor go? Somebody kill it? Or it wandered off. Well, it couldn't have wandered too far. But that's what nameplates do. And in a dungeon setting, it's helpful. Raid setting as well. Because you will have a whole bunch of enemies stacked on top of each other. For a paladin or any class that deals mostly AoE damage, nameplates don't matter. They really don't. But if you're something that has a damage over time effect, like a, let's see here, an Affliction Warlock, for example, you have these damage over time abilities that you have to place on each enemy for it to be effective. With nameplates, you can easily switch through all of the enemies and get your damage over time on every single one of them. So it is helpful, depending on your situation. Camera, water collision, that's a preference. Basically, if your character's head is above water, the camera is above water. If your character is holding their breath underwater, your camera's underwater. That's all that is. Okay? Follow speed is how quickly it snaps back to behind you. Alright, see right now I'm facing this way, the camera's facing that way. But if I press W, see, that's how it moves, okay? Now if I switch this up to fast, let's spin the camera back around. It snaps right back around. If I do it to slow, it takes it a little bit longer to swing back around. I just have it somewhere right in the middle, okay? And following style only when moving, okay? Only when horizontal moving, always adjust camera, never adjust camera. You want it to adjust when moving, because sometimes you want to look at your character. You want to take a look at the MOG that you have on, alright? Mouse, personal settings, however you want to do it. Invert the mouse, I don't like that. Mouse look speed, again, how fast do you want to be able to spin around? I've got it in the middle, and I can spin around pretty good. I don't need it to go faster than that. Click to move. Okay, this is what click to move is, alright? Click to move, is right clicking. That's what click to move is. Okay? I don't like it. It's not... It was fine for playing Ragnarok online. I don't like it for this. Accessibility, I don't mess with any of it. I leave it alone. And raid profiles. Okay? This is stuff, once you get into raiding, you don't need anybody to tell you how to do this. Alright? By the time you are able to do raiding, you already know what you need to do here. Alright? So, I'm not even going to cover it. We're done. But that is going to do it for the basic interface. If you found this at all helpful or informative, please go ahead and leave a like. You can catch me on Twitter or Discord. The links will be down in the description if you have any questions about this episode. And that is going to do it for today, folks. I'll see you next time. Bye now.